it's doing with your face right now.
It said due to the poor broadcasting, poor Wi-Fi, whatever, it was having a hard time. So anyway, carry on.
We are here. Someone asked us to show you how to do the. I'm gonna grab this cup. How to do the offset on the words. I posted this cup on the Glitter Craze group, and everybody kind of went crazy about it, and they wanted to know how I did the letters. This is called an offset in the Silhouette software. So Cameron's going to go over how to actually do that inside of the software, where you can get the offset of it, and then you can just cut it separately. And then I've been playing with molds all day, been getting really moldy. This is a shaker mold. It's a straw topper shaker mold, and I'm actually going to do it backwards. I got this mold off of Etsy. So Glitter Craze doesn't have them yet, but I'm sure that they'll be getting some shaker molds in. But I'm going to show you guys how I actually turn this into a shaker mold. It's kind of like a trial and error type thing. This is the first time I've done it. However, I wanted to show you guys how I did it and to actually see if it worked together. So I'm going to pass it off to Cameron so that he can show you how to do the offset on the parts.
Cool, and you're going to hold the phone, right? Carmen says hello. Hi, Carmen. Alright,
so this is the offset. We're doing an offset.
Don't
mind our family and
noise.
kids here.
We usually do this when nobody else is here. So we're going to make sure we cover as much as we possibly can. So this is how it's going to look once you're actually finished, right?
So this is what it looks like inside of the software after you've already created an offset inside of the Silhouette software.
So what we're going to do, just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown of how this works, you're going to choose which font you're going to...
Hi, Judy.
You're going to choose what you'd like to type, right? So we're going to do the same thing so you guys can see exactly how we do it from start to finish. And you're actually going to go into your software over this way here. You're going to pick whatever font that you have. I don't know what font you used here.
I used Heartbeat Italic.
So we're going to find Heartbeat Italic.
Pretty sure that's what it's called. Yeah, Heartbeat
Italic, right? So if you don't have that particular font, what we use is a DeFont for a lot of the actual. So you actually type in Heartbeat Italic font, free download. If I'm going too fast, that's not that uncommon, so just tell me to slow down. But blogfonts.com, I guess, is where she downloaded this one from. You can actually just go into it and download the actual file there. For this particular one, we can always post, links and whatnot, but you'll download that there. You'll upload it into your software. A lot of times what ends up happening is you'll download it, it won't show in the software immediately. You'll need to close the software and then reopen it so that you can actually use the font. But because we already have it downloaded, that's how that works, right? So once you got your size set to the way that you want it, I think that you actually, looks like you put the letters kind of close together, you stretched it. But let's say, because it's going to be a typical 7-inch cup, right? She had it stretched, I'm assuming. It's going to fit a certain length. This is 3.25 inches. So we'll stretch it to the same.
So with these type fonts, you also want to weld it. So you want to right click on this font and hit weld, because you'll see inside of all of these, inside of the letters right here, you'll see where it creates a separate cut line. So you always want to right click and select weld so that it welds it all together and it doesn't make separate cut lines for each letter.
Right. And the reason that's important is, like she was just saying, with the separate cut lines, when you go to actually cut it, it's going to cut that extra little tip of the E out.
So it's going to cut all the letters apart. So all of the letters are going to be able to pull apart from the rest of the word.
Well, when you weld it, you'll be able to see.
It took out those cut lines that are in there, in between the words.
So that same E that we were looking at before now is all actually conjoined with that D. So that way it's all one smooth, crisp line there. So once you've welded the image, what I like to do is just make sure everything is grouped together. Right? You can right click and actually click group. And that's going to allow everything to be put together. That way if you click off of it, you can move the whole image all together.
So if you accidentally click on one of the letters or something like that, it's not going to drag the letter away from the rest of the words.
So just to explain what that would look like if you didn't group it, right? So we'll actually go back and undo that, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about. Because once you weld it, it no longer becomes a text
Complete,
box.
yeah. It's no longer a complete word that's attached to one
So
another.
if you tried to move it, your W is going to come away from, you know, everything else. Versus if you grouped it all together, it would all be together. So that way, I clicked on maps. That's an accident. But don't mind that. So yeah, so once you actually got everything grouped together, you're going to go over to, there's a bar on this side, depending on what type of software that you have. You're going to see the star that has the offset. It says open the offset panel there. You're going to click on that, and it's going to allow you to actually click the word offset. And once you do that, you'll be able to see around all the letters that it's creating that specific offset for you. Now you notice this is very big.
It's very big and bubbly around the letters. You can see how it's kind of intersecting with some of the other offset of the word.
Once you click the word offset, all of this will come together, right? So it looks like it's all going to be interjecting and there's going to be cut lines and whatnot. That's not the case. But if you want it to be a tighter offset, you'll come back over to where it says distance over here on your panel, and you'll click it down to where you're comfortable with the offset actually being, right? And you'll be able to see that once we've adjusted it some, it's going to be, this one's at 0.08. So we'll click apply, just to give an example, so you can see what the offset's going to look like afterwards, right? And so now we've got that offset. So because we have that grouped text all together, we can move it all.
So you can move the inner words that separates itself from the offset. So that's how you cut. So you will cut this in black, and then you will cut this in gold. And once you do that, you pick up your black with your transfer tape and you stick it on top of your gold.
And the reason I think the whole grouping thing is also important is because in that step there, when you offset it, if you didn't have it grouped and you were back here and you clicked off of it, it'd be impossible to get that whole thing back together. Or it's going to feel like it's impossible. Now, granted, you can actually
because you're going to pull one letter away at a time
separately, and you can move it. And you can actually group those two things together as well. But for the sake of ease, I always like to group my words together, so that way it's all easy, a lot easier to move from there. And you can always ungroup it later by doing the same thing. You know, right clicking, and it's got the option to ungroup. So, but that's how you do the offset portion. There's several other features of the Silhouette that we're more than happy to go over if you guys have questions about them. But that's the offset feature. That's how we go about using that, and we do that for a lot of things. For the shirts, for the cups, we've done several different ones. It just adds an extra element of depth and complexity that people
so
look
this
at
is what it looks like. So when people look at it, this is the cup that everybody really liked. I cut the gold first with the offset, which was the bigger bubbly on the outside of the words, and then I cut the black. So I picked the black vinyl up with my transfer tape and placed it on top of the gold that was cut out, and that's how that was made. And it's all epoxied now and all that good stuff, so it's ready for its new home. So I'm gonna give it back to Cameron. We're gonna play with the shaker mold. You can swap, because I'm going to sit right there.
And Judy, you're welcome for sharing the information. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do. I like to come in here and give people a lot of information. I know that some people are just starting out and they don't know how to really work the software that well. I've been working with the software for probably 8 or 9 months or so. So I'm pretty familiar with it, and I also have the business edition of it, so that has the warp feature and it has some other features that the basic one does not have. If you are looking into adding or to upgrading your Silhouette software, Silhouette does have sales on it. I think I got ours, the business edition or business plus edition, for $59 or $49. It was half price of whatever it normally is. And we haven't had a problem with it ever since we changed. We upgraded because it didn't have the features such as warp and a lot of the font features were out and things like that. It gave us the eraser and the cut tool. It gave us a lot of things that wasn't there before that I really needed for some of the cups that I was trying to do, or t-shirts that I was trying to make.
So Carol asked, what's the name of the font again? It was Heartbeat Italic, right? So I'll show you. If you go into the actual font side, you'll see this is what it's going to look like. Heartbeat Italic was the name of it. Carrie, you're asking if you can make the gold part smaller. You absolutely can. So when you're doing it, I'll actually do the offset part again, so you guys can kind of see. The business is a one-time fee. Yeah, we just paid that one time, and now we have the business license forever. So you'll go to the actual offset feature, which is the star. It looks like it's the offset. If you hover over it, it'll say open the offset panel. You'll click the word offset, right? And then it's going to pop up, and you'll see where it kind of begins to surround the font. And from there, you can see that it's kind of large. You can actually go to where it says distance, and you can adjust it. So you can click, let's say, 0.05, right? And you can hit the word apply, and you can see how tight it gets around the letters from there. That's going to allow you to be able to make it a lot tighter versus having the bigger offset, because this is what it looks like with the bigger offset. Once you kind of get it positioned. But yeah, you could definitely make the gold part smaller. You could definitely do that by just changing that on that distance portion right there. You can change it from there. But yeah, she's going to show you guys about the shaker molds now, so you guys have an idea of how those work, because she was looking at those as well. She's toying with those today.
So I've been messing with molds all day, using my fast set, of course.
And you're welcome, Irma. She said thanks for the lesson.
So I actually made this mold. You've seen this. This is Glinda, and this I think is Frozen or something like that. These are the little straw topper molds that are the two pieces. This is the little Mickey headband, and it goes around your straw. So, and I've done like a ton of molds. I did all of these molds today, and like there's my skull. So I was looking at a video. So I got this mold off of Etsy. It was specifically labeled as a straw topper shaker mold. So I didn't realize it at first, and I've had this mold for probably about 2 months or so. And I didn't realize it at first that only one side came with a straw hole in it. So your straw will fit perfectly fine through this mold with just one of the sides, Now the other ones you'll see has the hole mark on both sides of it. So those won't work as far as like a shaker mold. But I watched a video on how someone actually turned it into a shaker mold, because I was curious of what everybody was using to seal this side with it. So I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick. I haven't done it yet, so we're going to hope that it works. I have my glycerin, and I have water somewhere, so I'm going to grab this and all this stuff. So, I saw the person. There's a marker over here I need to. I'll get a marker over here. Something. Okay, we'll get a purple. My craft room is in a little bit of a disarray today. So I'm going to take, this is a sheet protector, like from Walmart. This one's actually from Office Depot. But what I did was I cut apart the two ends, where your paper slides into here. I cut it all apart at the seams. And I'm actually going to take one side, this side, I'm going to put it over my mouse mold like that, and I'm going to draw it out on it. So I'm just going to draw out a little bit of the design. It's okay if it's going to be a little bit bigger. You just don't want it to be too small because you want to make sure you get a good seal on it.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. I'm doing a shaker mold. So we're going to cut that out on it.
Hi, Lisa. Lisa's watching.
Hi, Lisa. So I'm going to cut out this little design that I cut on my sheet protector. This is a sheet protector that you get from Walmart. I saw some people, you turn their molds with the shaker molds with like the little coin things that you put like vintage coins in. Little plastic pieces that pop together. But I didn't really see how that worked for something small like this. So I was like, huh. So we're trying this. We don't know if it's going to work or not yet, but we're going to try. Don't mind all the background noise. I have a lot of people and my kids are awake. The little one's kind of rowdy. Like every day. Not that today's any different than every other day, but you know.
Tracy asked if you can do this with any mold. I just signed on.
The only thing that I noticed about this one that was different from the other molds is you'll see like on Tammy's, this is the from the Glitter Craze. This is this mold. It's the cancer awareness ribbons, and so you'll see that both sides have the spot where the straw goes. When it goes together, they both complete a hole on the top. So I noticed on this one, like I bought this as a shaker mold from Etsy, I noticed like 2 months later that there was only a hole for the straw on one side. So you don't need both of them together to make a complete hole for the straw to fit through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them backwards. So this is the spot where I'm going to turn into my shaker mold. And I'm going to apply it backwards because my straw is still going to fit through there. Now, if that's how you're supposed to do it, I don't know. You could probably turn it this way if it was clear. I ain't doing that though because I didn't make it clear because I didn't know how these work. So I didn't figure it out until after I had already made it. So I have my vegetable glycerin. And I have my little Mickey cut out of my sheet protector that I got from Walmart, Office Depot, something like that.
Wherever sheet protectors are sold.
Yeah, wherever sheet protectors are sold. I might need to. I originally got this glycerin for a snow globe cup. I don't remember the name of it.
A storyboard?
Yes, storyboard. How do you know that? It's okay.
Stalker.
Stalks the Glitter Craze page in case you guys are curious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm mixing a little bit of the glycerin.
Thank you,
and a little
Tammy.
bit of the water in here. Why? What did Tammy say?
No, I'm just thanking Tammy for making Glitter
for
Craze
stalking
too.
her page, yeah. So I'm going to pour this little mixture. It's a mixture of glycerin, mostly glycerin and a little bit of water, inside of this part that I'm going to make my shaker mold. So I'm not going to fill it up all the way quite yet because I want to add some Mickey heads and some other stuff in there. Mickey heads from the Glitter Craze.
Ooh, Tammy says they have shaker molds coming on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, yes. So this is how you do it. I didn't know this is how you did it before, but I saw someone else do it. So all you guys get a head start. So I'm just, trying to unstick these Mickey heads from this glycerin on my finger. So what I saw is that you can use a suppository. Someone used a suppository for the glycerin
Enema?
mixture. Yeah, an enema, my bad. Suppository, enema, something like that. And then they just used the mixture out of the little ones. It looked like the ones like for babies. Like the ones I use for my son.
And it says hi.
Hi! Let's go to my wall of Glitter Craze and pick out another color.
Hey Tammy, your fault.
Yeah, they run 3D, by the way. Let's do some, I want a chunky ears. No, I've already got a chunky silver. Let's do a chunky pink. Let's do Cosmic Coral. No, I think it's that color. Whatever, we'll do Diamond Dust. Make some shimmer. Diamond Dust. Diamond Series White Diamonds. I've got to open it. So, we're going to add some shimmer in there to make sure it's cute. And I wish I had some other shapes. Oh, I got some stars. Let's throw some stars in there. These is Stardust from the Glitter Craze. Just a little bit of stars. Just, there we go. Okay. We're gonna mix it around, make sure it's not too much and all that good jazz. So the color of this shaker mold, by the way, that I used from the Glitter Craze was the Diamond Series Ember that I got in my subscription box yesterday. And this is one of 6 new ones that I got yesterday. So if you don't get the subscription box, you're missing out. You get them before they're ever listed on the page, and you get them for a really good price. Okay, so I have my UV resin. Now this resin is cured with a UV light, meaning that you need a light like this to be able to set it. Some people use the lights that are what is it? Where they go to get their fingernails done and
Black
it cures.
lights, basically.
Yeah, it's like that, but they have like another name for it. Anyways, I haven't went and got my nails done in a year. My son is a year old, 14 months, so I haven't got my nails done since then. Okay, so I dipped this little thing in there. It's like a little stick. A toothpick will work just fine as well. And I'm running it across, oops, that was a lot, the edge. Now you want to make sure that you don't get any of the water on your edge, only the epoxy, and you want to make sure that you go all the way around with it.
Carrie, I think we got the UV light from Amazon.
Yeah, it came with some of the crappy glow powders that I got from Amazon. I wasn't very impressed.
I have you can get UV light strips. You can also get portable UV strips and stuff from Amazon as well. eBay, I think, carries them. And I think even Walmart, you can get some of the bulbs and stuff. Some of the bigger bulbs, like you would put in your kitchen, or where you would put, like, if you had a disco room. We have a game room. We thought we considered putting them in there.
Ugh, everything's sticking to me. Ew, everything's wet. This one's wet. Ew. Thanks. I was about to make sure my penis mold was empty.
Yeah,
I mean, it is crafting after dark, right? So I'm just going along very carefully, putting my resin along the edges. You want to make sure that you get it to every little edge and every little crevice. Now this is my first one, so y'all don't judge me if it doesn't work, okay? Because we're like learning together. Dang it, I shouldn't have. Oh well, you can't really tell. Okay, so we're gonna try this, see if it works. So I used this earlier to actually put these together, because these come in 2 parts. He's not paying attention to me. These come in 2 different parts on the mold, like this, and you stick them together. And I actually stuck them together with the UV resin that needs the UV light to be able to set the epoxy. I kept the light on there for a couple minutes, and it stuck them together pretty solid. So I was super surprised. I did all of them. This is Jana's. She's in the group too. And I did this one, which is another purple. I forgot what color I used on this. It was the first time I ever used it. It was one of the gem series, or the garnet gem series.
Didn't Tammy say she was doing? You brought up the whole penis mold. Isn't she?
Yes.
She has those now, or?
Yes. Tammy has the penis straw topper mold. I'm gonna be like Tammy. If you get super offended, you might just log off for a little bit and come back. So I made one today. So this is one I made for Cameron.
No.
It's got Rushmore in it because it's got the gold and it just sits on top. Now this one isn't the one that come from the Glitter Craze. I'm waiting on that one to come in. I have already ordered it. And this one's another one. This one actually has little spermy glitters in it. Because I get creative like that. Yes, hold it, embrace it. Embrace it.
Things we do.
So this seems to have done really well.
If you're working on a stitch cup, she has the stitch molds are super cool.
Yeah, the stitch molds, I'm actually going to take a white water slide and I'm going to find an image that looks like this. You know, that fits this, and then I'm going to put the white water slide on top of it and probably one on the other side so you can see stitch from both sides. Everybody, I know what this is when I look at it, but not everybody does, so, you know. But yeah, so I did the UV light, and this was, of course, next time I will cut out closer to my marker lines. But you'll see there's like a little bitty air bubble in there, but it's not really that big of a deal. So, and it's just wet from the bottom, I guess, from whatever. It doesn't seem to be leaking from anywhere. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to put UV resin on this around here. So that I can do the two together. At first I thought that it had to be in direct UV light when I was doing these, and I didn't think they were going to stick together, but I actually did it in the crack right there, and there was a little bit, you know, that kind of squeezed out from in between. But I just did the UV light up to it and up to the edges like that, and it cured it perfectly. So I was super excited about that, but I'll give you that real quick so you guys can see it and see it on a straw and make sure it works and all that good stuff. This one's like, did I say I make a mess? I make a mess.
Our 1-year-old's ready to go to bed. He usually goes to bed at 9.
So, UV there. I'm going to put this on top like that. And I'm going to put the UV light. Now, I will go all the way around it to make sure that it's cured all the way around where I put the UV resin on it. Or UV, yeah, resin.
Yeah. Shay said, where do you get UV resin?
So I got this off of Amazon. I think Tammy got hers off of Amazon as well. This is the bottle that I got. I think it was maybe 20 bucks or so, but this is the third time I've used it, and it was all in to date, and the first time was to do these, to stick them together. I've got it on my hands. Ew. Gross. Oh god. See, I told you guys I made a mess. So I'm just going to keep moving my light around so it gets around the whole edge of it. You know, cure it all. It says that it needs at least a minute underneath. That's what I read on it anyways, because I took my time, and it says 30 to 90 seconds for UV LED. And it gives you wattage and all that good stuff on the back of there. So I did it for like a couple minutes, and then I just keep spinning it around. Make sure that you don't have any like on your table, because you'll glue your shaker mold to the table. That happened once. Saying that from experience. That was fun. Oh, but look at my cute little mold. Is Tammy still on there? Look at my cute little mold I did. This came from the Glitter Craze. This little puzzle piece. It's so cute. I like it. This is Glinda. And this, I think, is Olaf or something like that.
Is it Frozen?
Frozen, yeah. Maybe. It was one of those. I put them all back on my shelf. So, keep turning it. And then I want to show you guys that it works. So I'm going to take my skull off of my rhinestone cup, because I gave him skull eyes, or rhinestone eyes for my skull. Because he, you know, I'm fierce. You know, I've got to represent with my straw toppers, because that's important to me. I need badass straw toppers.
Tammy said I want to do that one.
Oh, this one, the puzzle piece? Yes.
The puzzle piece or the skull? One of the two, I'm not sure.
The puzzle piece. It'd be cool if you could turn this into a shaker piece, into a shaker mold, and then like had little puzzle pieces inside of it. That would be super awesome.
Lisa said this is amazing. Do you use the UV for the actual molds also?
I haven't used one for the molds. I just used them to stick them together. I don't know how it would work with a thick layer of the resin on it for it to cure by the blacklight. So I've been kind of skeptical to try it. Today was the first day that I used it because I know that everyone said that you could use this to stick these together, the two pieces together. So that's what I used it for today.
Yeah, Tammy says she wants to do the puzzle piece.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's super, super cute. Like, I really like that one. But of course I like everything she has. So, I'm almost done curing it. So, I know you guys are tired of staring at my face. But yeah, we're making penis molds all day. And
It makes me uncomfortable.
just other molds, you know. Mostly penis molds though. I think I got creative with my sperm chunkies in there because it looks like there's sperms swimming through there. You have to give me credit. That was pretty creative, okay? Just saying. So this is cured together. You guys can see it's stuck together and not going anywhere. So this is my cup from yesterday. So you can see, you put it on there. You can shake it up with your stuff inside of it. Put it on your straw, and there you go. You have a shaker mold, shaker straw topper. Super cute idea. I never would have thought that that's what people were using. Some people said that you can epoxy over this clear plastic film to give it more strength so that it doesn't leak or break or anything like that. So that's definitely an idea for you to be able to do. I haven't tried it, but it seems like it would work very well. So yeah, that was my first time doing it. You guys were here to see it all. See, it was not an epic fail. So, 2 thumbs up for that. But yeah, we're gonna hop off of here. We got all of our family here, and my 1-year-old is climbing on the couch, looking like he's about to Superman off of it. So, we will talk to you guys later. If you guys have any questions, inbox me. I'd be happy to help as always. My name is Heather, and that guy behind the camera is Cameron. And you guys have a great night. Bye!